Hello and welcome back to the Highland Homestead. First thing I'd like to say, huge apologies for the delay in this video. In the lack of videos recently, we've had quite a hectic time here at the homestead, and to be quite honest, videos have been the last thing on our mind. We have been updating Instagram. For anyone who follows, it's at the Highland Homesteader. You'll get much more regular content, but we are hoping to crack back on with the videos now on a weekly basis, now that everything's calmed down a bit. I'm joined here, you're joined here. There is snow on the ground. We have had snowfall. Yes, it's April, and yes, there was snow. However, nothing really we could do, but it has made it a bit more chaotic. We've only had 2 days worth, but it is bitterly cold, and when the wind comes, it is massively cold. So, first thing to update on, deaths at the homestead. Now, deaths are quite a common occurrence, and for where there is livestock, there is always dead stock. That's a saying most commonly said by farmers and people who keep livestock. So, let's start off with them. So, as you're probably aware from the last video, we lost our horse. And my partner lost her horse that she's had for 10 years, I believe it was. That was soon followed by the loss of 2 of our goat kids that we had bought, as well as a chicken and a couple of chicks we hatched. Now, the chicks we hatched, they had issues like they were always showing signs of problems, so they weren't so much of a surprise. However, the chicken all of a sudden, we believe, had nerve damage, and the goat kids ended up getting a thing called coccidiosis, which, if you were buying goat kids, definitely check for. However, as well as that, there were a couple more deaths. Now, that is related to what I am standing next to now. So I'm just going to turn the camera around, and we'll go in and discuss what it is. So I'm over here in our pig pen, and to start with, we have our sow Pie. Now, and there is our other one, Truffles. Now, Truffles is in the late stage of farrowing. She's hopefully going to go in the next couple of days. However, at the moment there are no real there's signs. We've had a bit of milk, but nothing major. On the other side we have Pie. Now, both of these are first time mums, so neither of them have had a litter before. However, we had a litter, Pie had a litter the other day, and if you can see, there's a bundle of hay moving just over here, and the reason behind that is because of her piglets. So there we have, there are 2 of them. Here's one of them, and here's the other. Now, they are, I'll come out because I don't want to annoy Pie too much. So, they are from a litter of 10. Now, there are 2 of them left, which explains why we've had a huge influx of death on the homestead. Now, Pie being a first time mum, she wasn't taking very many signals as to her piglets. So when they squealed, she didn't respond. So it was a very tricky first 24 hours for her. So the first death of a piglet was stillborn. Nothing we could do, deformed and everything, nothing. We then discovered a piglet that had appeared to be stood on, and its front right shoulder had been ripped clean away and left to flat. We took her to the vets, but unfortunately there was nothing that can be done. She there was mud all in the wound, and it was at risk of infection. So that leaves us with 8 piglets. There are 2 left. The other 6, over the course of the 24 hours, she crushed all of them. Now, we hadn't put in a creche at that point because we weren't expecting the piglets. We were going to be putting in the creche that weekend because she was showing no signs of being close We thought she was a couple of days away, and that weekend we put in both the crushes. Oh well. So sorry, phone died, so just having to catch up with that video. So yeah, so regarding the pigs, yeah, so we put in the crush, and since the crush has gone in, she's also turned a corner, which is great for us. Pie's started responding to her piglets a lot better. When they squeal, she gets up. She does the snout lifting, so she runs her snout along where she wants to lie down and moves down slowly. Because previously she was just flopping down to the ground, which really doesn't help, because there's no warning signs for the piglets to get out the way. So she's now being a very good mum. The piglets are doing well as well, because they have a lot more milk access. With only 2 of them being raised on her, she's quite a milky pig as well. We're getting quite a lot of they're getting quite a lot of milk, and you can actually see the milk on her. The next on the list, I'm just going to walk down to them, is the sheep. So typical, cameras dies, come back out, snowing again. Literally, it's April. Does the weather not know this? But yeah, so heading down now to the sheep. So our ram and 2 wethers are currently in the field. They're nice, to be honest. There's no problem with them. They tend to just stay away from me. I'll give them some food, they'll come over for that, but they won't come straight up until until I've walked off. But yeah, the good news is our ram lamb has done his job, because we are starting to show, or starting to see, the early signs of the ewes being in lamb, which I will show you now, because I'm going to go into them, have a sit down. I'll turn the camera around. It is a bit dark in here. I'll turn the camera around. In here we have our 3 Shetland ewes. Now these are all registered, and thankfully we're breeding with a registered line, so we will be having registered Shetland lambs. We're not sure what we're doing with them yet. We will probably be selling them, because we're planning on keeping the ram this year for some breeding. But so start off with the closest one. So the closest one, we were unsure if she'd actually be in lamb. She lost quite a lot of condition over the winter. Don't know why. She had access to grass, access to hay, got concentrate every day, like the others, but she just lost it. So we've managed to get her back into good condition, and if I look underneath her, oh, she's standing here, you can sort of catch a glimpse of her teeth. They're starting to face outwards, which is great. None of them are scanned, so we don't know what any of them are holding, or have, which obviously for us that's not a problem. We're testing the ram lamb. It was our first year. We threw the ram lamb in to see if he'd cover, and it seems like he has. So we're not sure how far along they are. We know that their due dates are approximately the 16th or 18th of April, but we don't know exact date. They are a bit wary of me here. When I'm sitting down over there, they're a bit calmer and nice. But I can sort of show you. So here, yeah, it should be on now. But yeah, so you can see from behind. So this one, especially on Treasure, you can see she's got quite nice. Her teeth are starting to firm up, and the same with Tice if she stands the right way. There you go. Yeah, so she's the best one for seeing it. So we can see that they're starting to develop her milk, which is great. However, it's sort of a waiting game. Haven't got a clue when they're due. If there's any ideas on tips of how to be able to tell how far along they are, or anyone has any recommendations for checking, we can get hands on with them. We'd rather not to stress them out. If there's any visual things we can look out for other than enlarged teats, I know that their vulvas or their back ends swell up a bit, and their back ends also get thinner, then please do let me know. It would be great to know, so we can keep an eye. But they are in here, so they're gonna deliver together. So this is going to be just a baby nursery. They're protected from the weather, which is especially important at the moment, and we'll be looking forward to having some young little lammies running around the place. Here's a nicer picture of Rags, just to see what he's like. Yeah, so he will be staying this year. We might keep some of their ewe lambs if they have any, but we've definitely got intentions to keep Ragnarok. He's a lovely ram. But the next area is all the way up there. So I'll pause, walk up there, and catch up with you when we're up there. Right, so up at the house, and well, to the barn, and the final addition is 6. Well, you're aware of one of them most likely. Not sure if they were on our last video, but you'll hear them in a second. Say hello to our nursery pen. So on the left here, we've got a Toggenburg crossbower goat. She is a female Dolin, and we are planning on breeding her in order to have, we're probably going to breed her with a Guernsey in order to increase milk production, because we're hoping to have a mini dairy for our family. We then have 5 little orphan lammies. So they are a mix. So we've got a Charolais, and a Charolais, and then we have a BFL, and then a BFL cross Cheviot. So we picked up these because for us, finances are a little tight. We're starting a homestead, and we wanted to build our livestock in a low cost manner, and the prices of all these sheep for what we were getting, we were very happy with, to be honest. So yes, they did require more work from us in the event of hand feeding. They need feeding regularly, like they need feeding bottle feed, so it is a hands-on job for us. However, the reward will be 4 new breeding ewes for us, and a BFL ram, which we're very happy with. So they are in with our Dolin because she is also still on bottle feed. She is like she's like an older sister to them. She's definitely bigger than them, and she uses her size against them occasionally. However, she's also very good with them, and she plays with them and keeps them entertained. They're in the barn at the moment, because outside is not a very high temperature. It's currently about 2 degrees. So we've got them in the barn because all of the lambs are under 3 weeks old, and she is 5 weeks, 4.5, 5 weeks old, I believe. Potentially 6 weeks old. But they do have access out here. They do get access through into the chicken pen, or they go into the garden for some fresh grass for the time being. So for the time being, they're in here for warmth. They have creep feed, hay, water, and a heat lamp for the cold weather. The heat lamp goes off when the weather gets warmer, thankfully. But yeah, they are lovely. We're very happy with them, and they were originally to keep her company because of the fact that we lost the 2 that we got with her to coccidiosis, and we got these 2 Charolais originally, and we fell in love with them, so these 3 quickly followed. But yeah, we're very happy with them all, and hopefully you'll see them grow up on the homestead, and one day they will be a breeding ewe for us and a new breeding ram. And that is one of the reasons we are keeping Ragnarok next season, is because he's shown good, well, we know he's covered our ewes, and we'd like to continue his line on for a little bit longer, so we're going to cross him into them this year, we believe, because they'll be big enough to take the Shetland ram. But yeah, if you have any comments or suggestions for us regarding that, please do leave it in the comment section below. That is it for this week's video. Again, apologies for the delay in videos, but as you can tell by the beginning of this video, we've had quite a busy time with dealing with animal losses and everything like that. And I shall leave you with Crazy Juniper. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please follow us on Instagram at the Highland Homestead. Goodbye.